Hey guys, this is Austin. So we all spend a lot of time on the internet on our phones, but which browser should you be using? To test, I used two of the most powerful phones out, the iPhone 5S along with the HTC One M8. On the iPhone, the default browser is Safari, where on Android, the most common choice is Chrome. Both browsers are solid, however there are a lot of other options worth checking out. Opera Coast is hands down the most unique browser I've ever used. It has a super clean UI that rolls the normal address bar and search into one seamless package. Chrome for iPhone, on the other hand, is essentially the same browser as you'll find on Android, allowing you to do things like syncing settings from a computer. Move over to Android and we have Opera. Here, we're looking at a much more conventional browser compared to Coast, with features like off-road mode to help you conserve data when you're off Wi-Fi. Another solid option on Android is Firefox. One of the best features are the add-ons, which aren't something you typically see on mobile. There are plenty of reasons why you might want to use any of these browsers, but what I wanted to know is which one is the fastest. To start with, we have the PEACEKEEPER benchmark, one of my favorites as it tests a wide variety of a browser's performance. On Android, Chrome and Opera are very close, where Firefox comes in just a little way behind. Jump over to the iPhone and you'll see there's no competition. Safari distances itself from Chrome and Coast since Apple forces other apps to use a slower engine. For JavaScript performance on more complex sites, we've got the OCTANE test. On Android, again Opera and Chrome essentially tie, with Firefox coming in just behind. On the iPhone, however, Safari absolutely destroys the others, entirely thanks to the Nitro engine. Another JavaScript test is SUNSPIDER, and here we see things change up a bit. Firefox on Android pulls out the win, with Chrome and Opera coming up right behind. On the iOS front, it's the same story, as Safari crushes the benchmark over twice as quickly as Coast, where Chrome wouldn't even complete it properly. Jump over to the HTML5 test, which is essentially how well each browser supports the rulebook of the internet, and you'll see Chrome, Opera, and Firefox on Android do well, where all three iOS browsers come in farther back. I know I open my browser several times a day, so next I tested how long each app takes to load. All six did well, with Firefox and Coast taking the win, and Opera on Android being the slowest, even though it only took a second and a half. If you use an iPhone, right now Safari is the obvious choice. However, once iOS 8 comes out, all apps will be able to use the exact same Nitro engine that Safari does, meaning performance should be identical. On the Android side though, it's a little more complicated. For pure performance, Chrome is the best choice. However, both Firefox and Opera aren't too far behind, and they each have features that might push you over the edge. So which browser do you use? Definitely be sure to let me know in the comments below. Also, I got to do something really cool recently. So I worked with Chris Perillo to create an actual ad for the Lenovo Yoga tablet. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's actually a pretty cool design. The tablet itself is super thin, with a battery cylinder on the bottom that gives solid longevity and also houses a built-in metal kickstand. It's also got an 8-inch screen with good viewing angles and front-facing stereo speakers. The Yoga 8 is a really interesting, unique tablet, especially considering the price. If you guys want to be awesome, go check out the full ad over on Lenovo's channel, which I'll have linked in the description. We definitely did things a little differently. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.